Good day and welcome. I'm Joey and this is Orange D20. Today I wanted to put out a quick video because something really interesting came out today. Wendy's, the fast food restaurant, released an RPG. And so I wanted to take a quick look at it. Called feastoflegends.com, and it is a free download. So even the site itself was better than I expected. They've put up on here a rotating GIF as though it is a hardcover book, although it comes out via PDF. And when I downloaded it, the very first thing that surprised me about it is this is a 97-page PDF. This is not just a quick thing. And I was also shocked at the quality of the art in it. I mean, here we've got the redesign of Wendy herself, who is set up as the queen in this player's guide for the fight against frozen beef. Queen Wendy, first of her name, breaker of fast food chains, defender of all things fresh, never frozen. And yeah, they have really built out a world. Again, a whole bunch of little jokes in here. The Twin Cities of Carl's, because Carl's Jr. and Hardee's is actually a combined chain. But what I found really pleasantly surprising is when I got into it, there's an actual game in here. I don't know how well you can see that. In fact, maybe let me zoom in a little bit more. As we're looking at the stats in here, you've got kind of standard stats, strength, intelligence, charm. I really like the idea of an arcana stat just for any game where your intelligence doesn't determine how good you are at magic. There's some real actual game design thought that went in here, which again, I was really happy to see. Then there's also some incredible jokes, like to determine the number of your stats, roll 4d4s. A d4 is a four-sided dice. We call this roll the 4 for $4. Nailed it. I was also surprised that they were using a rolling for stat generation system. That's something you don't necessarily see in modern games because it can lead to a lot of inequality in character builds. Wendy's definitely had some people who put some game design decision in here, because if they had just been copying, you'd see something more similar to standard array, which tends to be a bit more in fashion currently. Another thing I like is this no dice, no problem section. If you look at the website they built, Wendy's put out on the website an online dice roller. So if you are downloading this free PDF, you don't need to own a D20. You can roll it off of here, although I can't believe my first two rolls were natural 20s, although I have a lot of players who would believe that. The game then dives into its rules, which are a pretty standard sort of simplification of modern D&D. It has stuff like advantage and disadvantage, the idea of defense as armor class, hit points, and there are several skills in here. There's also a nice simple set of rules here for combat and challenges and that sort of thing. The sort of thing you'd want to have in a beginner's game. Next, there's an equipment section, and again, it's a nice, really simplified equipment section. I like how understated it is. I like that it's got a bunch of the sort of things that you'd want to consider for an adventurer without going too deep into it. Again, it strikes me as a really good beginner system. And I like that you can buy yourself a pigtail wig if you want one. I also enjoy the specialty healing items of lemonade, strawberry lemonade, and a chicken nugget. I really loved both the weapons and armor section. In fact, I sent screenshots out of this to some of my players as soon as I saw it. And I really like the style it's going to give this game in the fact that everyone is fighting with different kitchen implements. The armor is very much the same sort of idea, where you're buying really neat, interesting pieces of armor. So you're going to end up with very strange looking characters that I think just, they really resonate with the sort of weird feel that I get off of this game. Then comes the section on buffs and debuffs. Basically, the idea is that when you sit down to play this game, if you are eating Wendy's items, you're going to get a bunch of stat bonuses. They also give you a bunch of stat debuffs if you are eating other food from somewhere else. As soon as I saw this game, when I pitched it to a group of my players saying, do you guys want to try this? We were already talking about how we would order Wendy's when we played it. No one is pretending this isn't marketing, but I like this kind of marketing. It makes me want to buy in. I believe in voting with your money. So when a company puts out this as their advertisement, instead of a quick clip that I'm going to skip past in a video or a billboard that I'm not really paying attention to, when they put out something fun and engaging that I want to be a part of and not only play but make a video like this about, it makes me happy to spend a little money there and say that this is how I want to be advertised to. This isn't branded content, but Wendy's, you can buy me easily with a few spicy chicken sandwiches. The last thing I want to take a quick look at is the orders in the game. Orders are what you would call classes in D&D. They are what your character does when they're adventuring in this game. And they are all named after menu items. So, for example, this is the order of the spicy chicken sandwich page, and they've got a bunch of fire-based magic power. Based on the name alone, I feel like every group is going to have someone who is the Baconator. Even though I've only quickly glanced at the orders, I would probably want to play Order of the French Fries, which is a very support class full of a bunch of passive abilities that assist everyone else. And now we're at the character sheet, which looks like you'd find in a lot of starter games. And they've put in a bunch of starter characters so you can play someone that has been pre-designed, sort of suggested classes and a suggested party, which I think is a good idea for a lot of beginner games. And even though we're now only on page 35 out of the 100 pages in this document, from here it starts going into a Game Master's Guide, which has a very full adventure. Again, I've only glanced at it, but it strikes me as a similar quality to what I've seen in a lot of the beginner box sets that I've been really impressed with. Things like the D&D Basics, D&D Essentials, the Legends of the Five Ring starter set. Overall, I'm just super impressed with this. A simple pick up and go, one-shot sort of game. Again, coming with a full adventure. I am probably going to run this, and I will probably be using the buff section out of there. I am really excited to see something like this. In fact, the last time I saw anything like this was something that came out in 3rd edition when Old Spice released a gentleman's class based on their advertising campaign. And even taking a quick look at it, you can see that the quality of art that they were using is a lot simpler than what Wendy's put out. This is a 4-page character class. While it's also very good, it is not the same sort of commitment. I'm honestly really happy with what I see here. I'm going to be running this game for sure. It could be a while before I find a slot in the ongoing campaigns I'm running, probably sometime when a bunch of people are away and we are looking for something to pick up. But this is a game worth playing, and the fact that it is free is really spectacular. If you are a group of people looking at trying out D&D, this will actually give you a good idea of what it feels like to play it with some simple free rules. The fact that there is no investment and it's a chance to try a tabletop RPG, I'm kind of blown away. This is a really, really cool thing. It will probably be a few months before I can tell you how it plays, but I am excited for it, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. I'm Joey, and this has been Orange D20. Thank you for watching. Bye.